Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders, the great millstone that taught us his truth and that's still teaching his truth. And as always, I'm going to give much peace, love, and salutation to the elect, beginning with the 144,000, all the way down to the large multitude that believes in who Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai will deliver in these last days. To you all, I say shalom. I'm the brother Tazamah from the Great Millstone Dallas Camp, coming back today with another lesson. And Lord willing, today this lesson will be edifying. And what I want to do is just do a response video or a slight commentary on the video that was done by GMS All Precepts. I want to say that this is the elder Aishiar out there at North Carolina. You know, shalom to you, bro. Yahweh Bashem Al Shah, Bashem Kakadash Brakatah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this video came up on my feed. And, you know, you have on the screen here Charleston White, and he's pretty much talking shit about Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and about the Hebrew Israelites. And you're about to hear the video. But, you know, you got the likes of these individuals who got platforms and, you know, they got some sort of a buzz and a following for their character, you know, and, you know, how they portray themselves online and things of that nature. Like Anton Daniels, whatever the fuck his name is, Anton Daniels. He's another guy that's been, as of late, in the buzz in regarding to pretty much slandering the Hebrew Israelites and, you know, making videos, you know, falsifying information about videos that he's putting out. And, you know, it's really beautiful when you think about it on how, you know, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah gave, you know, individuals like this platforms to just really just talk, you know, and these people don't even know and understand that, you know, the things that they say and the actions that they do, you know, it's going to be a judgment behind it when it's all said and done. You know, and an individual and a nigga like Charleston White, man, it's a nigga that's going to be destroyed. Yeah, he does say some good things, you know, but his whole character is just to be contrary, you know what I'm saying? Contrary really in wickedness, you know. And, you know, when you hear what this guy's about to say, you know, niggas with the internet and niggas with keyboards, you know, and social media now that's given the, individuals a green light just to spew their opinions. This is all the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, so that everybody can, you know, everybody can be judged at the end of the day when it's all said and done. The scriptures talk about how, and let me actually grab that real quick. And I got a couple precepts written down here, as you see, you know, but what's that in John, is it 15 and 22 or 5 and 22? Let me see. Right. This is the book of St. John, chapter 15. Let me actually start at verse 20. All right, this is John 15 and 20. It says, "Remember the word that I said unto you. The servant is not greater than his Lord." You see, in Yahweh Shai, whenever he was on the scene, you know, he was being cursed out. He was being falsely accused. He was being slandered. He was called Beelzebub, which is pretty much being called Satan. You know, he was called he was deemed as a troublemaker. You know, all the apostles, you know, beginning with Yahweh Shah, but all the prophets and the apostles were looked at as troublemakers, man. You see, and we got to come in that same lot. We got to fulfill the lot in the shoes that our forefathers, you know, went through. All right, continuing on, in verse 20, it says, "If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also." You see, because realistically, these guys feel as if they can say these things and act the way that they act and say the things that they say because no judgment has really came down yet. Even though judgments are coming down daily, but realistically, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai really hasn't opened up on Jake the way that he's about to do very, very soon. You see, and when Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai opens up on Jake, okay, the way that he's going to open up on him, they're going to wish that they never talk shit. They're going to wish that they never said shit about Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They're going to wish that they never talk shit against the prophets. You know, they're going to wish that they never did these things, but it's going to be too late at that point. You know, a fool will always be comfortable in his folly. You know, a fool will always be comfortable in his folly when nothing happens to him at that given moment. You see? But everything is being recorded. You know, everything is being recorded by the angels, by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah is recording everything. Even the things that we do, much more us than the 2/3. Okay? Verse 21, it says, but all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. You see that? They're none of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So they're going to say the damnedest things. They're going to act in a very, very immoral, niggerish tendencies, man. Verse 22, it says, if I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin. So if Yahushai, never came and his word never went out, they wouldn't be guilty of sin, because ultimately at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, now that Yahushua is being preached, repentance is being opened up. Okay, but it says, but now they have no cloak for their sin. They're not going to have any kind of excuse when judgment comes rolling down. And when these judgments come, I'd rather say, like Elder Apostle Gabar likes to say, man, they're going to be fast and it's going to be brutal. It's going to be so quick, it's going to make your head spin, man. And they're going to be very, very vicious judgments too. Okay? Now, I'm going to play some of this video and I'm going to pause it as he's saying things. But hey, this is an example of a nigga with a platform and an opinion and a keyboard and a nigga that could just press the record video or the record button on their phone. This is an example of what can happen and how people can just literally mark themselves. So without further ado, let's go ahead and play it.
Motherfucking God, I wasn't here 3,000 years ago when they strung Jesus ass up.
And he's saying Jesus because, maybe he has a knowledge that his name ain't Jesus, but his name ain't Jesus either. All right, Jesus is a Greek title or a Greek name. And our Lord and our Savior, Yahushua, which that's his true Hebrew name, was a Hebrew. Okay? So he's saying, I wasn't here 3,000 years ago when they strung him up, so matter of fact, let's just run it back.
Motherfucking God, I wasn't here 3,000 years ago when they strung Jesus ass up. I wasn't even around. Didn't have nothing to do with that shit.
He said, I wasn't even around. I ain't had nothing to do with it. Yeah, you were around, man. Okay, through a thing called reincarnation. Okay, that's why Yahushua said this. And what's that, Matthew 23? Whoops. Salaki, hold on one second. Fill up. Measure of your fathers. Right, let's get this real quick. Because that's one thing Jake doesn't understand is the fact that you were around back then. Everything and everybody has been reincarnated. You were here at one point in your time. Okay, and either A, you were with the prophets, you were with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, or you were against them. Okay? And a lot of these niggas in this generation, if you will, that has no fear of the Lord, they were that same generation that didn't make it into the promised land, that died off in the wilderness. They were the same generation that was talking shit against Yahushua back then and the prophets back then, and they're back again today. Okay, and like I said, here's a scripture to prove it. This is Matthew 23, verse 31. It says, wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves. And this is Yahushua actually cursing out the wicked scribes and Pharisees when you read this whole chapter. Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves, that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. You see, ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. You see, y'all were the same ones back then, talking shit. Y'all were the same ones back then. You're looking to stone Yahushua, calling them all kinds of names, things of that nature. Y'all was the same ones doing that, and y'all were the same ones back then persecuting the prophets too. You see, it's mainly our people, it's mainly Jake, all right, that the problem arises with, man. We already understand and know that Esau, the so-called self-proclaimed white man, we already understand and know that he's a problem, but he was created to do what he's doing right now, man. Okay, so reading it again, it says, wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves, that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. All right, verse 32 is the point. All right, it says, fill ye up then the measure of your fathers. Okay, fill ye up then the measure of your fathers. Now let's just get this word measure. Okay, that word measure in the Greek is pronounced metron. Okay, metron.
Strong's G 3358. Metron. Metron.
It's kind of like meter in a sense. Fulfill you up the measure of your fathers. All right, and when you get the definition here, it says a vessel for receiving and determining the quantity of things, whether dry or liquid, like you would have a bushel, You know, you would have an ephah. You would have it was a particular measure used to measure out liquids or measure out grains. You know, dry things or liquids, as it said down here. And then when you go down, it says figuratively equivalent to most abundant requital, to add what is lacking in order to fill up their ancestors' prescribed number of crimes. Let's read that again. Let's read that one more time. To add what is lacking, like for example, if you have a cup, you know, you're going to add, and you want to fill the cup up to a particular measure, you're going to add more liquid to the cup in order to fill up the liquid to that line. To add what is lacking in order to fill up their ancestors, their forefathers prescribed, meaning before, scribe meaning written down, number of crimes. You see, everything is already prescribed and everything is already set. You know? So Charleston, why you very well could have been one of them niggas talking shit back then. Because you just doing the same thing now. The scripture says that the spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets. So the spirit of the 2/3 is subject to the 2/3, and he's definitely a 2/3, for sure. Okay? Yahweh Shai said in Matthew 12:36, every idle word that a man shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. Okay? And people have no fear of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. Once again, because judgments hasn't come knocking at the door yet. Now, judgments are out there. Don't get it twisted. Judgments are out. But you see, people can talk all kinds of shit when it doesn't really affect them. It doesn't really affect them, and it doesn't affect their pockets. It doesn't affect the way that they move. It doesn't affect the way that they live. You know, that it hasn't hit with any of their loved ones. You know? Let's see what other precepts I had. Okay, I had Hosea 4:6. You know, our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Matter of fact, let's grab that real quick, and then I'll go back to the video. Hosea 4:6. It says, my people, who are the Lord's people, the Israelites, are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You see, a lack of knowledge for what? A lack of knowledge according to Christianity, a lack of knowledge to Buddhism, a lack of knowledge to Islam. No, a lack of knowledge according to the truth of the scriptures. Okay, Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai gave us a sets of laws, statutes, commandments, and prophecies for us to abide by, so that what we could be as beacons of light. Okay, but our people are destroyed because they have no knowledge of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, because they're so infatuated with worshiping the so-called white Jesus, the white meat, which really goes back to Serapis Christus, which goes back to Apis the bull. Okay, an idol. Okay, it says, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. You see, the 2/3 of our people are rejected by Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. That's why they regulated to these characters and the things that they say. You know, you see 2/3 of our people killing one another. You know, you see 2/3 of our men and our women out here being promiscuous, women being hoes, men just being being complete assholes, man. The Lord rejected them. It's already written in the scriptures that 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans will be completely rejected by Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, man. And there's nothing that the 2/3 can do, all right, to make themselves to be accepted. If you are of the 2/3 here in America, you will be destroyed. Point blank, period. Okay? We're not out here to wake up all Israel. Okay? Charleston White is nothing more than just a lost cause. He's just a nigga with a platform, who I truly, honestly believe that he was set up. You see? I truly believe that he was set up, but that's just my opinion. All right, it says, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. You see? And that's why you see our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, regulated to the hoods, eating unclean foods. 144 call hello Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. All right, eating unclean foods, you know, worshiping all kinds of idols. The main idol that Jake worship is themselves, you know. They're not afraid to speak blasphemy against Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. You know, they're not afraid just to talk all kinds of shit. There's no fear of you. It's no fear of the Lord in the land. You see, the scriptures say that in Habakkuk, the law is slacked, and judgment doesn't. Matter of fact, let's grab that. Matter of fact, yeah, let's get that real quick. Salakia, man. I know that I'm going back and forth a lot, but let's just read this real quick. Habakkuk 1:1, it says, the burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see. O Yahweh, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear? Even cry out unto thee of violence, and thou wilt not save. And that's how it feels sometimes, man. You know, we keep seeing the wicked be more wicked. You know, these niggas just keep popping up and just keep doing more wicked shit, and we crying out to the Lord, and it seems like he's not doing anything, but he's allowing the measure to be filled up. Okay, verse 3, it says, why dost thou show me iniquity and cause me to behold grievance? For spoiling and violence are before me, and there are that raise up strife and contention. You see, in strife and contention is those that love to argue and fight, man. You know, and you see that amongst you see that amongst Jake culture 100%. Verse 4 is the point. Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth. You see, ultimately because you got the wicked ruling, and the wicked will set up a wicked nigga like this, all right, with a platform and a following, and you know, to go on his phone, click the record button, and to just spew out his opinions and madness all online, and pretty much he's just airing himself out. Let's continue.
Shit, you mean to tell me, Hebrew God, you punishing me for something 3,000 years ago? Fuck you.
You see that? He said you punished me. You punished me for something 3,000 years ago. F you. And hey, Jake has no fear. Like Jake has no fear of the things that they say. You know, I quoted it earlier, and I'll quote it again. Matthew 12:36. Every idle word that a man shall speak, they should give account thereof in the day of judgment. And Jake doesn't even understand and know why they're being punished. Okay? When you read the curses, when you read in Deuteronomy 28, you know, when you read Leviticus 26, Nehemiah the 9th chapter, Daniel 9, it tells you, you know, it tells you why, okay, it tells you why these things are happening. You know, it tells you why our people are regulated to the hoods. It tells you why our people are getting shot down in the streets. It tells you why, you know, you the last hired and first fired. You know, it tells you why you went into captivity. It tells you why, you know, you see your women against you. You see your own people against you. You know, you go to a gathering where it's a bunch of Jakes, man, and you see, you know, somebody mugging you, and then all of a sudden now somebody ends up on a t-shirt. But the scriptures tell you why that happens. It's because it's due to the curses, man. You see? And we're still under the curses to this day. Okay? That's the reason as to why we're still being punished for something that happened 2,000, 3,000 years ago. Because for a millennia, we've been completely rebellious against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And then he said, well, F you. Now let's grab a precept. So I'm not even going to fix my lips to say what he said. He's through. You know, he's marked for judgment. You know, the angels of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai marked that guy. He's marked already. You know, and when Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai puts the hit out on him, okay, via the angels, okay, it's going to be fast. It's going to be brutal. Okay, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 10. It says, for the ear of jealousy heareth all things, and the noise of murmurings is not hid. You see, and the thing about it, he ain't even murmuring, you know, quietly underneath his breath. Because even if he were to say that in his mind, he's still marked for judgment. But he's saying it out loud. I'm talking about no fear. No fear. Okay? It says, for the ear of jealousy heareth all things, and the noise of murmurings is not hid. Therefore beware of murmuring, which is unprofitable. And that's a problem that our people have. All right, it's murmuring. And whenever you murmur, it's pretty much you talking under your breath, you know, talking all kinds of shit, complaining and shit. Jake was doing that in the wilderness, and that's why that's one of the reasons as to why that generation never made it. It says, therefore beware of murmuring, which is unprofitable, and refrain your tongue from backbiting, for there is no word so secret that shall go for naught, and the mouth that belieth slayeth the soul. You see that? It says there is no word so secret that shall go for naught, and the mouth that belieth slayeth the soul, man. And he's done. He's pretty much through. Okay? CR 34 verse 24. Let's grab that one. This is the book of Sirach 34 verse 24. It says, when one prayeth and another curseth, whose voice will the Lord hear? And he's gonna hope and pray in that day when all hell breaks loose, if he's even around. Even I'll say when judgment comes, because the judgment can either come tomorrow, it can come tonight, or it could come whenever Jacob's trouble comes. But whenever the judgment comes, it's gonna be judgment from the Lord. You know, he's gonna be praying to the white meat. He's gonna be praying to Jesus. You know, he's gonna be calling upon sweet Jesus in that day. God, help me. Oh my God, help me. Lord, please, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lord. And he ain't gonna be heard in that day. You see, when one prayeth and another curseth, whose voice will the Lord hear? You see? You think you really truly think that the Lord gonna hear you in that day? You know? No, he gonna leave you up to your own devices in that day, man. Because you rejected knowledge, the Lord gonna reject you. You see?
Serving the devil. Hell, I wasn't even around. Didn't have nothing to do with that shit. You mean to tell me, Hebrew God, you punishing me for something 3,000 years ago? Fuck you. I'm serving the devil.
He said, F you, I'm serving the devil. And that's why Yahweh Shah said in John 8:44, ye are of your father the devil. Okay? Of the lust of your father ye will do. Because he was a murderer from the beginning. You see, and you already serving the devil. That word devil clearly just means deceiver. You know, you say you serve what the so-called white man set up. You see, whatever the so-called white man Esau sets up, that's what Jake would do. You know? Esau say something, man, you know, Charleston White would shut the fuck up and be quiet. You know? But when it comes to the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, man, Jake don't give a damn. Jake will just say anything, man. You see? But it's all good, though. Like I said, you know, all these opinions and, you know, a podcast, keyboards, comment boards, followings, you know, YouTube reality shows. You know, you got this whole thing where women come up and you over here rating the women. You know what I'm saying? All that shit gonna come to naught. All that shit's vanity. You see? Everybody's gonna really truly be tested of who they really truly are in that day. Okay? That's what it's all going. That's what it's all getting ready to boil down to here very, very soon. Who has your allegiance been towards this whole time? Has it been towards the system? Is it, or has it been towards serving and fearing Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai? And most people do not fear the Lord, and it's just the truth. Let's continue.
What is you talking about? Man, please, I'm going over here with white Jesus and seeing all the way before I get in the casket.
You see that? He's like, I'm going over here with white Jesus. I'm going over here with white, and that's Jake. You know, that's Jake, man. Jake would rather have the white meat. You know what I'm saying? Because it feels comfortable to them. He's like, I'm going over there with white Jesus, and I'm sinning all the way into the casket. And that's what we're taught. You know, we're taught that we could pretty much just transgress and sin, and just act any kind of way that we want to act. You know, and the Lord will just forgive you. That's what Christianity teaches you. That's what Christianity teaches. You know, you can do whatever the hell you want to do, act any kind of way that you want to act, but Jesus loves you, he'll forgive you. You could be the biggest nigger on the planet Earth. Okay, I didn't say nigger. Okay, you could be the biggest nigger on the planet Earth and be the biggest demon on the planet Earth. You know, and then whenever the judgment comes, you could just be like, Lord, help me. You know, I'm sorry, Lord, forgive me. And then, you know, white Jesus, you know, the white meat, you know, my faithful servant, come thou hither into heaven. Because you quote unquote repented. Whoo, man, these niggas finna, man, the Lord is gonna do a damage. The Lord is gonna do major damage on niggas, man. And I can't wait, man. I can't wait till niggas start dropping dead, man. I can't wait until niggas start just dropping dead and the Lord start judging these niggas, man. All these niggas that trust in the system, all these niggas that trust in America. He don't want America to be destroyed. He's content. He's content with the so-called self-proclaimed white man being his guy. He content with that. Let me get Isaiah 30 real quick, because this is the exact precedent. Okay, Isaiah 30. I think it's Isaiah 30. Hold up. Here we go. Yep. Isaiah 30. Isaiah 30 verse 8. It says, now go, write it before them in a table and note it in a book. In the book that we have now, where everything is noted, where you can read about our people's transgressions and our people's sins, is written in the Holy Scriptures. That it may be for the time to come forever and ever. And we're at that time right now. That this is a rebellious people. Let's get this word rebellious. That this is a rebellious people. And it begins with the so-called Negroes, man. Okay, that word rebellious is Marya. Okay? Marya, it says rebellion, which rebellion literally means back at war. When you break that word down. And our people are back at war with Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. Our people would rather have Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai be an enemy versus be an enemy versus being an ally. You know? Because like I said, they truly don't believe that the Lord is going to bring forth judgment, because mass judgments hasn't really rolled out yet. Okay? Rebellious people. And that's talking about our people, man. The Israelites, you so-called Negroes, you so-called Latinos, and you so-called Native Americans. Okay? A bunch of rebellious children, man. Okay? No fear of the Lord. Want to act any kind of way that you want to act. You want to have any kind of diet. You know, you don't want to have no kind of structure according to your family. But if Esau tell you something, you want to straighten your ass up at that point. You want to tighten up the bootstraps then. Yes, sir. Oh yeah, yes, master. Bunch of you coon ass niggas, man. It says lying children that will not hear the law of Yahweh. And the only way that you're going to hear the law of the Most High, all right, is through his men, through his prophets. You don't want to hear the men that the Lord set up to correct you and to reprove you. But that's how it's always been. Verse 10, it says, which say to the seers, see not. And the seers are prophets. When it says see not, meaning don't prophesy unto us. And to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Speak unto us smooth things. Prophesy deceits. And that's exactly what 2/3 of our people want. They want deceits. They want the white meat. They want sweet Jesus. You know, that's what they want. You know, because with sweet Jesus, you know, you can do anything you want to do. You could be a Mo. You could be a P-file. You know. Shit, most of the P-files in the Catholic Church or in these Christian churches, they be actually amongst the congregation. Mo's, women teaching, you know, T-gender pastors and things of that nature. Complete madness. Verse 11, it says, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel, who's the Holy One of Israel? Yahweh through his only begotten son Yahweh Shai, to cease from before us. And that's exactly what this man Charleston White is saying. He wants Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai to cease from him. He ain't trying to hear it. And this is just an example of how most Jakes truly think. That's why when you really bring the truth out to a Jake, they ain't trying to hear it. They'll swear up and down that they believe in the Bible. They've been believing the Bible, going to church. Grandma been going to church for 99 years. You know? But when you actually bring the truth of the scriptures out, they ain't trying to hear it. You know? They don't want to hear it. I'm gonna rewind it back 10 seconds. Excuse me.
But man, please, I'm going over here with white Jesus and sin all the way before I get in the casket. Right before I get in the casket, I jump out and say, forgive me for all my sin, and get to go to heaven. That's the Jesus I want.
You see, he's like, that's the Jesus that I want. I want to sin, and I just want to just be a complete demon. You know what I'm saying? All the way up until I'm about to die. And then when I'm about to die, that's when I'm gonna be like, okay, Lord, I forgive me, please, and I would get to go to heaven at that point. And that's what Christianity teaches you. Christianity teaches you that you'll be able to actually do that. That's what Jesus teaches. You see? That's exactly what Jesus promotes. You see? Charleston White is nothing more than just an example of 2/3 in America and how they think. You see? That's all that he is. He's just an example of how 2/3 truly believe the scriptures, man. You know, because Jake just want to have fun. You know, Jake just want to party, bullshit, and play all damn day, man. You know, Jake doesn't want to have no discipline. You know, Jake don't want to be disciplined. Jake doesn't want to, you know, discipline themselves and have standards and morals. The standards that they want to live by is a standard that's given to them by their enemy, man. Okay?
Stipulations you Hebrew niggas got, you can't do this, you can't wear that. All you niggas arguing and fussing about your God. You don't never hear white Jesus name and them.
You see, he's like, man, you see, you Hebrews, all y'all do is argue and fussing about your God, but he doesn't even understand the reason as to why we argue amongst one another, and it's really just about the doctrine. That's what it's all really about. You know, but he always wants to look at the so-called self-proclaimed white man and try to, you know, equate himself to Esau. That's what he really wants to do. He's trying to, his measuring stick is Esau compared to how, you know, we truly should be. You see, if the so-called self-proclaimed white man ain't doing it, then it's like, if he's doing it, or if they are doing it and Jake ain't doing it, then it's a problem. Because he truly, honestly believes and worships his master, the devil. Ye are of your father, the devil. Of the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth. And that's, who was Yahweh Shah talking to? He was talking to niggas. He was talking to Jake. Okay?
Folk arguing about Jesus and they God. They don't do that shit. Them people have quiet services. Even when they bury white folks, it's quiet.
He said they got quiet services, man. But in Christian service, so-called black churches, it's loud as hell. You know, you got people hooping and hollering and screaming and crying, but you can't walk up to the preacher and ask a question because he ain't gonna know what the hell to tell you. He ain't gonna know what the hell to tell you. He ain't gonna have no answers to give to you. You know? That's what the whole black church in the black church is the biggest joke going, man. The black church is the biggest joke going, okay? If you still in the black church and you still think about the black, you know, Christianity, you a Baptist, you a Methodist and things of that nature, and you still believe in that shit, man, you gone, man. You through. The Lord gonna destroy your ass, man. And there's no hope unless you have the elect and the Lord calls you out of that and he brings you to the truth. Because most of the people in the black church is a bunch of old bottles, a bunch of old ass, you know, a bunch of old ass so-called black men and black women that have no idea what the hell is going on, man. You know, you ask them about the Bible, they, like I said, they've been going to church for 99 years. You ask them a question out the scriptures, and they ain't gonna have no answer to give to you.
Ain't nobody hooping and hollering with that Hebrew shit. Man, them people way more civilized with the New Testament and the Old Testament.
But you ask him to tell you something about the New Testament and the Old Testament, he ain't gonna be able to tell you. He gonna be able to bring out John 3 and 16. That's it. You ask him, you tell him about the Old Testament, man. He ain't gonna be able to tell you about. He ain't gonna be able to answer any kind of questions based upon the Old Testament either.
Fuck that Hebrew God. He too mean.
He too mean. He said, F that Hebrew God, which he's talking about Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. F that Hebrew God. And you got people throwing the fire emojis, laughing. All these people are being marked. F that Hebrew God. He too mean. You know? And they say that he's too mean because whenever you come into the truth, man, yeah, you gotta bow down to stipulations, man. You gotta bow down to discipline. Which who the fuck don't want to be disciplined, man? Especially as a man. You should be acquiring discipline, man. That's the problem with most of these Jake niggas, man. These niggas. I'm talking specifically to the men. That's the problem, is that, you know, nobody wants to be disciplined no more, man. Everybody filled up with fucking estrogen in their goddamn body. You know what I'm saying? All the men filled up with estrogen acting like some hoes, man. Acting like a bunch of females, man. No kind of discipline. He too mean. Ooh, man, I can't wait till the Lord starts dropping, nigga. I cannot wait. I just pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. I'm on the good side of things, man. But when these niggas start dropping, all these things, all these game playing, all these laughing, all the smirking, hee hee. Charleston, why, boy, you crazy, you funny. Let me turn my camera on so I can just talk some shit. Let me turn my camera on just so I can just, you know, I got something on my mind. So I Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait until the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash brings judgment. And Charleston White, you bitch ass nigga, the Lord is going to destroy you. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is going to annihilate you. And you're going to be annihilated, and you're going to know why you're being annihilated too. That's the thing. The Lord going to show you why you're being annihilated. He too mean. Oh my goodness, man. Let's wrap this up, man.
He don't let you have no fun. You can't get your dick sucked. And after you get through getting your dick sucked, say, Lord, forgive me. Knowing you go do it again.
You see that? He's like, you can't have no fun. You can't do this. You can't do that. You see, but that's Jake, man. Jake would rather live in pleasure. Hey, the scripture says, she that liveth in pleasure is damned while she liveth. Let me get that real quick. It's in Timothy somewhere. Yep, 1 Timothy 5 and 6. Let's get that. 1 Timothy 5 and 6. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. And that's, that's going into the women, but we are the women of the Lord. You see? You can either be the wife of the Lord and be subject unto your husband, or you can be a promiscuous hoe. And if you would rather live in pleasure, you are already dead. You already damned. You already subject to destruction. Let's read this in the NLT. But the widow who lives only for pleasure is spiritually dead even while she lives. And Charleston White is nothing more than a nigga that's dead from the neck up. I ain't mad. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that he, this is what the Lord created him for. This is what the Lord created him to do. But this is an example to edify and go into the scriptures to back up everything that he's saying and go against it with the scriptures. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who taught us his truth, and that's what teaching his truth. Much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. And with that, Lord willing, I say, Shalom.